things go wrong, and they sometimes will. When the road you're trudging seems uphill. When the fun is low and the debts are high. And you want to smile, but have to sigh. Don't quit, God has promised us a better life. With faith and grace you have a better life. Better life. Better life. Better life. Better life. Better life. Better life.
Welcome to Better Life with Reverend Ayo Akinshete.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Better Life. I'm Dr. Ayo Akinshete, and today I want to talk to you on how to marry without getting into debt. How to marry without getting into debt. The Lord put this topic in my heart, and I want to believe it is because somebody needs it. If nobody needs it, the Spirit of God will not lay that in my heart. I'm going to read one scripture, and then let's see if other scriptures will follow. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 10. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 10. If the iron be blunt and you do not whet the edge, then must he put more strength, but wisdom is profitable to direct. My emphasis in the scriptures that I've read this morning is that wisdom is profitable to direct. Every subject is not in the Bible. The scripture does not teach us how to arrange wedding, how to arrange events, but there are a lot of wisdom here and there that we can borrow and then learn so that we don't walk into doom. It has been discovered, particularly from the counseling room, that very many young people who are getting married, they are not finding life easy after wedding. Yeah, they are not. The ugly experiences of newlyweds that we get from the counseling room is the reason for this message, apart from the inspiration of God. Some of them wanted a loud celebration with their wedding. They were advised that since it's a once in a lifetime event, they should make it big, they should make it superb. And then they took such advice and then went all the way, only for them to regret thereafter. You know, wise men don't learn only from their experiences, because you will not live long enough to learn only from your own experiences. You need to learn from the examples of others. You need to learn from the experiences of others. You need to learn from what others have gone through. Now, many people have had weddings and they have cried after the wedding. Many people have had loud weddings and thereafter they have recorded a lot of regrets. So I want to share with you some of the regret that I have received from the counseling room. I want to share with you the cries I have helped people to alleviate from the counseling room. So that in case you are preparing to wed, in case you are arranging your wedding, in case you are hoping to wed someday, and in case you have somebody who may wed around you, you should gather wisdom so that you can help others. Gather wisdom and help others. Gather wisdom and help others, and gather wisdom and help yourself. I remember a young lady called Kabi. She came from a middle class family. Her mother insisted on borrowing money for things that could be avoided. The father was against borrowing that much. The father wanted to borrow some money, particularly from the cooperative union in the mother's place of work. They had agreed already on what to borrow. The man said he was going to pay for a year. But the woman went ahead and borrowed times 4. 400% of what she and her husband agreed to borrow. Because her daughter who was to get married was behind her. Mommy, get all the money. Mommy, get all the money. Mommy, get all the money. The husband told her, this is what I am going to pay. If you get more, you are the one that will be responsible. And she went ahead with her daughter's support, the girl that was going to get married. They got all the money, had a big wedding. Everywhere shook. Even angels knew that something happened. And then after the wedding, the father paid the one he agreed to pay. And when he finished paying, he stopped. 3/4 was still remaining. That was when the new fire was on the mountain. The woman begged the husband. The husband said, no, I have told you, this is what I'm going to pay. And then she started paying. It was difficult, so she called her daughter. You have to come and pay this debt. That was when Kabi realized that when she was supporting her mother, it was trouble she was looking for. And the husband to be told her then, don't force your mother to borrow too much. Now they have called her. Even her husband said, well, I have told you. So she began to pay from her salary. She was on that for a long time. It affected her. She was not happy at home. She was not happy with her husband. A lot of things happened thereafter that brought them to the counseling room. Pressure built up on a marriage that was not up to 1 year. Why? Because of borrowing. Why? Because they wanted an elaborate wedding. Why? Because they wanted a wedding that will shake the land. Now they had it, and pressure was building up in the home. Look, there are things you do at times, people will clap for you, but you are going to cry when you get it back into your room. There are things you do at times, everybody will hail you, but you are going to weep when you get to the corner of your room. You should be wise enough not to displease yourself and please people. You should be wise enough not to do something that everybody will clap for, and then you will cry in the end. It's not wisdom. I have read the Bible from cover to cover looking for answers to this question. And I have discovered that even the weddings that became successful, ultimately, many of them were not loud weddings. What makes a wedding worthwhile is not how big the wedding is. It's not. It's not. What makes a marriage worthwhile is the quality of knowledge that the parties have, not the loudness of the wedding. Let me share with you one more example. There was this bride got married to a heartthrob. Everything was going well. Now, the guy borrowed enough. They had it big. And then he was paying back every month. Now, the challenge in the case of this guy was that in the office, you cannot use your friend's name to borrow money. If you do that, they will sack you. But because he needed money, he used the names of his two friends in the office to borrow money. Nobody knew for 4 months. But after 4 months, it was discovered. And then they sacked him. Now, his salary that he was using to pay debt back before, and then the remaining would take it back home, and they were managing that in the home. Now, there was no salary again. His two friends who could have helped him in bad time, the office was deducting their salary to pay the debt back. Everything went bad. It was really tough. And then the lady at the time, because she was pregnant, when by the time her pregnancy was 4 months or 5 months old, she left the house and went back to her parents because there was no food. They were living from hands to mouth. She packed her luggages and went back to her parents' house so that she will not starve to death because of her pregnancy. That is what debt can land on a new family. You need to run from it. Run. 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 You can avoid shame from the point of planning for your wedding. Avoid shame. Avoid shame. Avoid shame. Now, today, let me give you a few reasons why you shouldn't get into debt because of wedding. I've given you 2 stories. Now, let me give you a few reasons. You must plan your wedding and plan debt out of it. It will be insanity to plan a ceremony and not plan what will happen after the ceremony. This is what leads to debt most of the time. Don't only plan the ceremony, plan the after ceremony. Plan for after the ceremony, particularly when it's wedding. You are not going to finish ceremony and be drinking water. Now, I'm passionate about this subject because I know the things I've had in the counseling room. I know the kind of calls I've received. I know the counselings I do across the phone. People are going through things. Many of them are at the verge of divorce. Many are at the verge of suicide because of debt accumulated because of wedding. Why shouldn't you get into debt because of wedding? Number 1, to have peace after the wedding and not be tensed. So that you can have peace. If you accumulate unnecessary debt, you will destroy the peace of your new home. You will lose your peace and ultimately your spouse will lose his or her peace. Run from it. Run. Run. Do your best to ensure that you don't destroy your peace in the course of the ceremony and then you now enter the real marriage. And then the debt accumulated because of 1 or 2 days ceremony will now destroy the next 2 years of your marriage. Be wise. So time won't permit me to share a lot of stories with you. I want to say thank you to everyone whose stories I will use. And of course, I'm going to embellish the story so that we can preserve the privacy of the owners of the story. A young man got married and borrowed all the money he could borrow from here and there. It was when the wedding finished, they realized that something bad had happened. He told some of them, well, all the money I collect at the reception, I will pay you back. He was shocked. What he was expecting from the reception, he got 1/10 of it. By the time he was leaving the reception back to the hotel, his heart was beating like that of a Christmas goat. Everything went bad. It was so bad that when he got to the hotel room, there was no erection. You will hear some stories will be wondering, you mean it happened? Yes, it happened. And it continued like that for a whole week. Prayer warriors left the church and came to their house and began to pray, believing it was the devil. Look, A lot of the troubles in our lives, it was not the devil who brought them. It's our indiscretion that brought them. They prayed like brimstone for 1 week. Nothing happened. No change. They forced him to the hospital. When he was telling them, no, I am not going to the hospital. I am not. The way the new bride looked at him, he agreed to go to the hospital. They treated him. They did a lot of things, but they said they couldn't see anything. So he went back home. About a week after the wedding, one of his uncles returned from the US to Nigeria, heard that he got married, and then came to visit. And the uncle gave him 4 million naira. When the uncle left, believe me, erection started. The powerhouse that has gone down received power again. So the devil was the debt all the while. Prayer warriors prayed with them for 7 days, and the devil was not there. The devil that was killing him from inside was debt. As soon as 4 million entered his account, an alert answered. Bam! Powerhouse received power. Erection industry resuscitated. You see the problem? It will surprise you. Every day, somebody is getting into debt because of wedding. I'm not talking of small debt. Heavy debt that will put them under pressure for the next 5 years. And so much of their peace is being tampered. Trouble is taking the place of peace. Tension is taking the place of serenity. And it's not the devil. It is their lack of discretion. Why shouldn't you get into debt? Because of wedding. Number 2, to avoid getting angry unnecessarily with your spouse. And particularly if you are CEO, you will get angry with all your staff. You will get angry with everybody around you. And what is bringing the anger is your debt that that grew because of wedding. Believe me, I think our generation need to wake up and come to a junction where we can hold weddings without getting into debt. Where we can have our wedding ceremonies without getting into unnecessary debt. It is possible. Don't say, can somebody have a wedding or not? You can do it. What we need is a reorientation, and that's what the Lord has asked me to come and give to you, a reorientation. You can marry without getting into debt. It's possible. It's possible. I remember the story of a young man who gave the wife, just 2 weeks into marriage, gave the young lady a dirty slap, very dirty one. The young lady shouted. Their friends around and neighbors came around, were wondering. He always shouting, what is wrong? When they got there, they saw the mark of the husband's hands on her cheek. And the man said she was disturbing him. She was nagging. Why? Because the guy was moody. And the new wife was trying to ask, what's the problem? We have been married for only 2 weeks. You are always moody every day. I need to find out. What's the problem? You were not like this when we were cutting. You have never been like this. Uncle has entered into depression because of debt. All of the envelopes he thought he was going to open and bring out big money and then be able to pay part of the debt. When he opened those envelopes, it was 1,000 naira I saw inside. Some of the envelopes were big because they packaged the 1,000 naira inside a kerchief and then put it in the envelope. Look, when you are running your wedding, don't build on money you are expecting. Don't build on envelopes they are going to give you. Don't think that you are going to receive enough gift that you are going to sell and be able to offset your debt. Spend what is available. Plan on what is available, or else I can assure you, anger can destroy your new home. Time will permit me to share one more with you on that. A new couple that separated because of tension that built up because of debt. Why are you setting yourself up for trouble? Wisdom is profitable to direct. If you run your wedding and after the wedding you are under pressure, it shows you are not wise. Yeah. Wise men solve tomorrow's problem today. Ordinary men solve today's problem today. And stupid men solve yesterday's problem today. If you are waiting for a problem before you solve them, you are stupid. And that's exactly what many people do in the place of wedding. They don't envisage any problem. They just borrow money from everywhere they can get it. They just want to have it beautiful. They want to have a wonderful wedding, and that's what is in their head. They are not thinking of the problem they are trying to create. Wise men solve tomorrow's problems today, so that when they enter into the future, they will make peace there. Stupid men create problem for tomorrow today, so that when they enter into the future, they will lose their peace. I'm going to stop here for today. Do you need to talk to somebody? You need someone to talk to pray with you or pray for you. We always say for you. The number to call or send SMS or WhatsApp to is 070 56 66 76 86. 070 56 66 76 86. I love you, and I'll see you again tomorrow.
No matter how bad your life may have been, things can surely get better. No matter how good your life may have been, things things can surely get better. Your case is not closed. I tell you today, there is hope for you.
Better life.
This is Better Life, and I am Ayo Akishete telling you your case is not closed. There is hope for you. See you again.